Trafię to też. Ty masz cipkę jak...
Hello everybody, Jelsa Farmer here and welcome back to my channel. Today we're gonna look at another new mod map. This is called Ciulnity, or yeah, I'm gonna just put it on the screen there. It is a fictional map, but looking at some names on the sell point, it looks maybe like it is Polish. Let's go with that. This is by FILIP Player 54. It's only 183.93 megabytes to downloads. It has 3 farms, one of them which you own, 84 fields, and it got some really interesting features on it. The landscape is beautiful. You got some flat areas, but you also got some really steep, hilly terrain, and as you can see, yes, there is a train on it. So, where do you start? Well, in the middle of nowhere, so to speak. If we go here, you can see it's a full 2x map with different kind of sizes of fields. You start with field 83. You got a farmhouse, which you can sell. This sleep trigger you can sell. You have a cow pasture, a chicken pen, and a silo. When it comes to field prices, well, they varies. They're not that expensive compared to the field sizes. I think the most expensive one is field 61, which is a big field, and you also get a big forestry area. You can also buy clean, so to speak, forestry areas, and as you can see on the names on the sell point, it looks to be Polish. Biogas plant, that's a new one for me at least. We're gonna test that afterwards. It also has a local party on this one, which I never seen before. There's a party with some guys playing and drinking. And also there is some, what should I say, glitches. I think maybe it needs some updates, especially regards to the train. There is a train station down here, but I cannot get it to work. We come back to that. Contracts, yes, they are available, and they got some new figures, or Captain Onion and FILIP Player 54 himself, and Hiyori. So I've never seen these kind of people, or so there we go. Now, yeah, sell points. There are 3 main sell points, and you also got your sawmill, and you got 2 barns, and as always, when you get 2 of one, they're jumping up and down. Now also here there are some places where I'm a little bit confused, because you can see for potatoes, sugar beets, sugar cane, egg, wool and milk, there are no sell points. So, but there are of course a whole lot of modded sell point that you can place down, but you know, don't start with potatoes straight away, because there's no place to sell them. There are no special or modded crops in this one. So there we go. So now I'm gonna jump down to the farm and I'll see you there. So here we are at our farm. I'm gonna show you what you're gonna start with and all that, and then I'm gonna clip in on how it's gonna look when you start on Farm Manager and all those aspects with that. But here we are on our farm. We got ourselves a farmhouse with sleep trigger. Excuse me. You got the cow barn, cow pasture, which will hold 40 cows. You got a chicken pen, which will hold 40 chickens. You also have a bunker silo, and you got some sheds for your equipment, And you got your farm silo, which can hold 200,000 liter. The sleep trigger is also a new one, which I haven't seen before. This one. Pretty cool. We're not tired. Cows. Open here you buy your cows, like so. In here you will put your food and your straw. Water trough though is actually on the outside. Now I haven't thought about how to get out there actually. How do you get out to this water tray? It's probably not collisions in these ones, but okay. Anyway, and you got some sheds here with equipment, and you also got some starting, what should I say, pallets. You got some, these are real, these are chicken feed. Chickens are over here, and here is our equipment. So now let's jump in and see what kind of equipment we start with. So let's go in here. Oh, I'm on the wrong way. Anyway, slot count is 507. You got a New Holland T6. You got a Rostelmash harvester. You actually have a forklift, a trailer, a header, seeder, a fertilizer spreader, a weeder, food mixer, TMR mixer, water tanker, weight, and you start with, like I said, chicken and cow pasture, the silo, a bunker silo, shed, and an invincible fence, which I haven't found, the fence area around your farm, and this is also a fence area which I haven't found, but anywho, and then your farmhouse, which you can sell. Now, are there any mods in this map? Well, yes, there are. The shed, as you saw, the farmhouse, and the animal pens. That's about it. I have scrolled through most of the vehicles and equipment. I haven't found any modded equipment. But anyway, now let's just see how this looks like when you start it on Farm Manager. So this is how it will look like if you start it on Farm Manager. And as you can see, we have the equipment here, and those are real pallets, obviously. You also got, yeah, more or less everything in equipment. Let's just get an overview over the farm area. As you can see, all the buildings are removed. The only thing you have is the bunker silo. Slot count wise, it has dropped down to 470. You don't have, of course, a silo. When it comes to fields, you don't have anything. You can, of course, buy these fields for 90 and 60, so around 150,000 for those two fields. Another thing which I discovered here a couple of days ago when starting on Farm Manager, just beware that if you don't know, you actually start with a loan. So if you go here and into economy, finances, you can see on the bottom right corner you have 250,000 in loan, and you will be charged every day at midnight, I think it is, for some interest. So you better start paying down the loan. So this is Farm Manager. Well, let's try to sell everything and see how much the slot count will go down to. So there we are, we have sold everything and the slot count is all the way down to 340. And you got 1.5 million in your back pocket. And you still have the pallets with chicken feed and fertilizer and seeds. So now let's go back to new farmer. So there you go, that's the farm manager startup. As you can see, you can get the slot count really low if you sell everything. So now let's jump in the T6 and I'm gonna show you some, first thing is some funny things actually. We're going to a party. Oh, I don't need this weight, I'll just put it there. First thing we're coming to here is, seems like nothing, but this is actually a lime point. If you look in the map, we started our main farm and you have a lime station here. I've tested it, so that's pretty good. And also the texture on the asphalt is some kind of strange, I think, but it's really shiny, as you can see. Now, I haven't tested the... We need to test if there are some new paintings. So there we go, that's the paint. Different paint structures or textures. This weight, does it work? Yeah, 6,000 kilos. This is one of the main sell points just beside of your farm, which will take all of your normal crops. And then the next thing is the the party. I'm just gonna drive a little bit around here and you can have a feeling for the map. Now here is where the magic happens. Now what is this? Well, if we get closer, seems like some people are doing some things not that they're supposed to do. But anyway, when we get closer, just listen.
Kto cię dzisiaj posunie? Tak dokładnie jak ja. Kto wypieści cycunie i wyrucha za dnia? Może wolisz minetkę? Ja potrafię to też. Ty masz cipkę jak rozetkę, a ja chuja mam jak zwierz. Wypierdalaj, ty kurwo w dupę wyjebana.
So there we go. Either Polish or Russian, I'm not sure, but anyway, I think it's pretty cool. So where are we? This party is going on in this forestry here. So now we're gonna go over to this mysterious place also. So I guess I'll see you there. So here we're coming up to a train station. It looks like there are some sell points or silo markings here. And also on the train side you have this pipe coming out here. And the train is just over there. Now this does not work, and as you can see on the map there is no sell points or silo mark. I did test this, so I'm gonna show you now when I tested it. So there we go. So the map may need an update, especially on this area here. And this is a drive-through, so you also have wait over here. So now the next place we're gonna come to is, let's look at the map. We're gonna go up to this sell point and then to the biogas plant. Now, before we whiz over to the first sell point, we can take the shop straight away. I did some testing earlier here, and the trigger point there isn't that big. I think I had 2 trailers and a tractor, and it told me that it was full already. But anyway, here you have your workshop trigger and your shop trigger. I don't know if you can go in here. No. And another thing you have to bear in mind that this area here, it's wide enough, but if you're bringing out really big equipment, let's just fly over there and have a look. It's a really narrow space. Where am I? There we go. So if you can see here, straight out of the shop, it's going really steep down there. So yeah, I capsized one of my tractors there, but anywho. So now we're gonna go through the forest here, and we're gonna go into a sell point in the middle of the wood there. Forestry. So we are at one of the other main sell point, which is a drive-through. So you go in here, you sell all your different stuff in here, and you can drive out on the other side, and around you go. It isn't the widest and most space underneath there, but with a push wagon you're good to go. Now strangely the biogas plant is still, which we're coming up to next, is still a little confusing, because I'm pretty sure when I tested this outside camera, I also did it on UFarmer. And then I got the biogas plant up on my sell points, but I don't have it now. Strange. And another thing, I think it's got an update coming, is that you can see here, for example, these poles are not completely down to earth, and I'm gonna show you now another area which has the same. So we are now at the far bottom right corner. It is a part of the periphery, but anyway, there is a forest here where all of the trees are actually floating, as you can see. Okay. So here we are at the biogas plant. Here you will get your byproduct digestate. You have two big bunker silos, and you have the digester just here. Now I did test this with silage, so I'm gonna show you that also now, and I'm 100% sure that I did not buy this one when I tested it, but let's have a look. So there we go, that's from my test. Now, of course, maybe I haven't mentioned the price, but the biogas plant, to buy it, it's not that expensive. It's 50,000, so let's buy it. And now see. What? I bought it now, didn't I? Yes. But it didn't show up here on my sell points. Now I'm even more confused. And you can also see on silo other, that's usually the train station, and you can see there's some glitch here. Anyway, we'll whiz up. I think the next one is the animal dealer. So here we are at the animal dealer. So just here you got the trigger to buy and sell animals. Now I did forget to mention when I drove from the biogas plant, this area here is also a farm area that you can buy. You can enter the sheds and all that. So there you go, and then I drove up here, and here we are at the animal dealer. So next one now will be a sell point, which is also one of the main sell points, Skupod Krysniem. Here we go. So this is the Skupod, which will take your main crops. And now it's time for a longer drive, so I'm gonna drive all the way up here, and we're gonna go up to the barn and the barn. So here we are. Ooh, the traffic here is not going on the right side of the road. There are some traffic in this sell point. So here you got two sell points, which is called the barn and the barn, and I can only choose one of them, of course. So if I tag this one, you can see it's on the back side there. Now these don't only buy your grass products, it also buy your cotton for some reason, and your manure. So silage, grass and hay, manure and cotton. And this is probably the most best view of the map. So next thing, I'm gonna drive down to the sawmill. So from the barn and barn sell point, I drove down here, and here you can see more or less all over the map, and down to a really steep hill here into the forestry where the sawmill is. And as you can see, I've tagged the sawmill, so this is probably the sell point for wood chips, and you got your logs. I didn't find a trigger for where you put your logs, but I'm assuming that you can just put it right here and press L3 there to sell your woods. So now I'm gonna go further. We're almost at the end. I'm gonna go, there's another way out here, and then we're gonna look at this area here. And then I think we are more or less through all of it. So now I'm at another farm which you can buy really cheap. Looking at that overview, it's this farm over here. It's not much room to place down things, but as you can see, you can open up the gates and everything. The only downside with this is your neighbor. When you go over to your neighbor house here, they are also having a party. Just listen to this. So apparently the sound is coming from this greenhouse. Well, anyway, so I think that was it. This is really cheap. It's only 26,000 to buy. So if you are on farm manager and you want the cheap land, this could be your start point. Let me see. Have I forgotten anything? I think we are just going a quick round the map with the train, which also has some really tight turns, and you can see when we get along. But I think I've covered most of it which is in this map. And as I said, the big party in there by the red light is a new feature I haven't seen before. It's a really nice map. I really like the landscape. You have flat areas like here, and more hilly, steep landscape in the north. There are some things that might need an update, but I think it's nice. Slot count is, yeah, it's on the lower side. And if you go into Farm Manager, you can, as I said in my notes here, you can get it all the way down to 340. So with that, I'm just gonna go guide you through the train route here, and I'll thank you for watching. If you like what you see, hit that like button, subscribe to my channel, and leave a comment if you want. You can share my videos, whatever you do, all up to you. Thank you for watching, and bye bye.